Okay. Now, someone asked the question, Oracle is a case sensitive or not? What my answer is, Oracle is not a case sensitive, but the data, whatever the store, the data is case sensitive. The example here, while insert into small letter, capital letter, and I give the camel case here, but still it will allow you to insert the data. So after while fetching the data, I given whatever A is a capital letter and B is a small letter and B is a capital letter. I'm getting the data. So I will give the small all small, then I'm not getting the data. Okay. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Now we understood the DDL. So in DDL, what is the DDL? Just for recapping. So that's a data definition language which is used to create a database object. How many objects we can create in Oracle, in SQL? If you use the create command, if you create a using the create command, if you use any object, that is called DDL support only. Without support DDL, we can't able to create a without DDL support, we can't able to create. So what are that DDL commands? What are the DDL commands? Create, replace, drop, truncate, alter, rename. So truncate table. So and drop the table. Two things we didn't practice. Remaining create, replace, alter. In alter, modify the column name, increasing the column data type size and decreasing the data type size and rename the column we have done. We have renaming, you can rename the column table name also. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Rename batch underscore 127 to batch underscore 101. So it's renamed to batch 127 to batch 120. If you give the description of the batch 120 batch 101, same thing I'll give you 127. You renamed right that time. All the things will be renamed with the table name. You understood, right? All the columns, data types, whatever the things are there, right? That comes under table batch underscore 127, right? Now, instead of 127, it will go to 101 and 127 now became a no valid. Okay. Now, initially we discussed, right? I'll tell you one table. What is the table? All underscore DB underscore tables. Remember. Now I'll query this table. What could be answer? No table. Now if you put 101, batch BATCH underscore. Let me keep. What is the rename? So I'm giving the table name here also. But I have done that rename in the table, but I haven't done anything in the deep underscore tables. How will you get that information? Remember, this is metadata view. Metadata in the view in the sense, whatever you're creating the database object, that all related to database object information by default it will store into the table mean DB underscore tables. Okay, understood? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See, there is a metadata views. all underscore tables, all underscore columns, all underscore tab columns, all underscore constraints, all underscore index, all underscore synonyms, all underscore constraints, all object. What are the object you are able to create? Oracle by default, it will store the whatever we creating that object related data. Let's say an example, I created a table. Who created, when created, how many rows are there, how many table space we are using, and when is last updated, when is the last DDL happening, all the information available in the metadata tables. Okay, so that's what I'm telling. If you do any operation in the Oracle, it will be recorded. Okay. So this is about the table, simple table. Here we need to understand creation table anybody can do, but only we need to understand the data types. How many data sets we have used? Number, worker, float values I can store, date columns I can store. Okay. So these are the character I can store. These are the data types. Data types, number, worker up to, char, and date, and timestamp, and plop, and b file. So these are the Oracle support data types. What is the use of data types? So based on the data type only, for example, if you see here, student ID. Student ID data type is number. Based on this, okay, based on this data type only, I can able to store the value into this column. For example, it's a number data type. Can I able to store in the alpha number apart from number alphabet? Can I able to store in student ID?
No.
Because you are defining the data type, saying that only this data type values only you can able to store here. Like this worker of 2. In worker of 2, I can store the alphanumeric in the sense characters and numbers both can I store here. Worker it will support special characters also it will support worker. Okay. Char 1. See what is the difference between char and character 1, right? So worker also character, if you give 1, right, it will occupy only one space in the memory. If you character of 2, but you are giving only gender male, even though you are giving one value, but the capacity is 2, if you consider 2, right? So one capacity will fill with gender value, another one it will fill with space. So the memory usage will be gone. So that's the reason people used to use the worker of 2, but it will not be able to visible here. So what I'm trying to say, for example, care of 2 I'm giving. Okay, but I am inserting the value char of 2 I'm giving, but inserting the value will is 1, but still it will occupy 2 only. One is value, another one is space. So instead of wasting the space, we'll go for a worker of 2. Understood? So why we go for a worker? In date and timestamp. See, date, right? It will store you only date, and time also it will store. Let's say select from. So what you are getting the date, but in the store and all, right? By default, it will store the, if you are not giving midnight, it will store. So 12 a.m. it will store 12 hours. 00 minutes, 00 second by default in Toad. But in the command prompt, it will store you only date. So if I want to store the exactly timestamp also. I will show you. Alter table batch underscore care. Not one. Add time underscore join as a timestamp. Okay. Now insert into batch underscore 101, and I want to insert I want to interested into only three columns. Student number ID, student ID I want, and student underscore JOD underscore, one more column I just now added, time underscore join job. Okay, values. I want to show the difference between the date and timestamp. Okay, here I will giving 102, comma, this date, comma, this date. I'm giving both. I'm giving the same date. Enter. Student Java. Where is student job? I done. Column name is wrong. JOD, right? So one row got created. Now select start from batch underscore row, not one, where student underscore ID equal to student underscore right, ID equal to 102. Correct. So what is the difference between date and timestamp? Date and line. Hmm. Now tell me what is the difference between here? Student ID 102. Student name I haven't given null. So gender I haven't given any null. Student JOD joining the date I given the sys date, but what is this taking? Only date, month, year. But student underscore job I given the what is the data type? Let me put clarification. Student underscore batch, right? Okay. So if you see here, right, student underscore job is a timestamp I have given, and the student JOD is a date I given. But while inserting, what are the value I given here? Inserting only both are timestamp only, I mean sys date only I given. But while storing the data, what is the storing? For date, it will store only date. For timestamp, it will show the hours, minutes, seconds, milliseconds, and the AM or PM. Now you can tell me what is the difference between date and timestamp. People are there.
Date only gives the date format and the timestamp, date and time both.
Okay. Now my question is, what are the data types available in Oracle? That is not a question, but just for information.
Character, varchar, numbers, system date,
So far
times.
that is okay. So far we discuss only For char, number with a decimal, then date and timestamp. What is the use of data types?
Okay.
What is the use of data types? Why only all people are there, right? You can speak, right?
Data types it defines the value. If we select the numbers, we can store only numbers. For char, we can store
Yes,
alphanumeric
data
character,
type
only
is
character.
yes, data type is will decided what kind of values we can able to store in a column. Okay, so DDL command in table is over. Then we'll go for a DML with a table tomorrow with TLS. Both I'll cover. Then data retrieval and TCL. Then I'll go for a view. Then I'll go for a synonym. Then I will go for an index. Then I will go for a constraint. I'll go for a one by one object. Okay. So any questions you can ask me. If you don't have any questions, we'll drop off. Or my question, our thing is, you people are very comfortable with this. No, slow. I mean, I'm not going fast. If you want to go for a fast, or you can go for a fast. That is up to you.